He thunders with his majestic voice, and he does not restrain the lightning when his voice is heard. God thunders wondrously with his voice. He does great things that we cannot comprehend. Job 37, 4-5.
My name is Ryan Fry. I've been part of the Grandview Christian Board of Directors for 9 years. I am in an off year now, but I enjoyed 3 different sessions of 3 years. And I remember back in 2013, December-ish, it was Christmas-ish, it was winter, cold, and Aaron Warner asked me to go out for coffee. And he said, hey, we've got 7 men that are passionate about continuing Christian education on the east side of Des Moines, and we need an 8th one to fill our board. And he told me all about it, told me what was expected, and just a leap of faith that it was. And I prayerfully considered it and decided to come onto the board, and that was 2013. And there was 8 of us back then.
So my initial role was one of the founding board members at Grandview Christian, and we spent 2 years getting ready for the school.
I was one of the 8 that one of the 8 individuals that kind of came together that kind of became the first school board, and so we were the ones that kind of handled the startup of Grandview Christian. But yeah, in the early days, it was pretty much everybody doing a little bit of everything, including, I remember Mark Weatherly will remember this. Judd was out of the building. It was after school started. We were like a month in, and one of the kids in Mrs. Poole's class threw up on the floor in the classroom, and so everybody's calling Judd to come and like take care of it. And Judd I think he was actually at an auction buying desks for our school. And so Mark and I, they come in the office, and so what do Mark and I do? Mark and I head down there, and we're literally taking stuff out, and we're like cleaning up this kid's lunch off of Christine Poole's floor. So it was a little bit of everything in the early days. There was lots of roles that we played, but that was a fun one. We only had to do that once though. Judd took care of the rest of them. So
the first year was very touch and go, meaning financially, we didn't know if we were going to be able to make payroll each week. We didn't know when the school started, we didn't know if we were going to have students. We didn't know if we had a staff. We definitely did not have a building. And God provided all of that way above and beyond our expectations. It was really a faith-building experience to be involved in that, because God really provided everything. And He provided in a way that you knew it was from Him. It wasn't done in a way that we could have accomplished it ourselves, which was amazing, because we had the idea, but I think that was a God-planted idea. We were just vessels being used by Him to get this school up and going. And
it was really kind of that moment of truth, right, where we've been doing all of this work, and it was kind of like, are we actually going to move forward? Are we actually going to start a school? And we were kind of going around one by one. And I remember Becky Tarbo specifically, kind of saying, hey, just speaking from some experience and just from some wisdom, right, that she had. And it was kind of like, hey, if we're agreeing to do this, like everybody needs to understand, like we're committing everything. Like this isn't like, hey, I'm kind of in, or I'm kind of not. It's like, it's finances. It's like, if I have to take a second mortgage on a house, whatever it is, like we're all in, like we're doing this, right? And it kind of set the tone, right, as we started to go around person to person, right, and be like, are we in? And it was just one of those things. It was that kind of moment where it really kind of hit home that it's just like, yeah, like everybody's in, we're doing this, right? And we feel like this is what God wants us to do.
God proved Himself over and over, just with different needs. desks, football uniforms, furniture. The list goes on and on. Projectors. I think one company donated a bunch of computers to us. Their company had updated their computers, and it was just constant. In those days, God was faithful, and people gave, and people got behind it, and it was amazing. I mean, one of the first things was, will the teachers come over? That was the biggest thing to us. I mean, we can come up with a building and we can make something work, but at the end of the day, you got to have teachers, and you got to have people that you trust. And I think, in faith, we put out there, hey, we're gonna make sure you get paid what you got paid last year. And we had no idea how that was going to happen, and people believed us, believe it or not. And I think we got over all teachers, but maybe one or two, right there at the beginning. And I want to say a number of like 200 kids stands out in my mind, like 230, something like that, is what we started with. And we were hoping, hey, if we can get to 200, we can make this thing go. And now look, we're over 1,000 and with a waiting list, and God has just blown it out of the water.
God just continues to be faithful and say, hey, as long as you put me first, as long as I'm the priority, right? And we continue to put our faith and our trust in him, he's going to be faithful to the work that's honoring him. And that's what we need to, as long as we stay focused on that, he'll take care of the rest. And whether that's 300 kids, whether it's 1,000 kids, whether it's 2,000 kids, whatever it is, and he'll be faithful to see it become what God wants it to be. And if the school is what he wants it to be, then that's good enough for all of us, right?